What is up, everybody? So you all saw the title of the video, you know what you're here for, but in the off chance that you didn't see, back last month I went to Australia for the World Championships, and at the Sydney competition, the warm-up Sydney competition the weekend beforehand, I got a 19.77 4x4 single in competition, which is my overall PB, and it also ranked me 4th in the world, which is one of the craziest things that has ever happened to me in competition. I certainly don't get N by N PBs anymore in competitions, so this was my first in a long time. And I just thought I'd reconstruct it for you and show you what I did in the solve. Now you will realize from looking at this reconstruction that there wasn't really a whole lot of luck involved necessarily. The scramble, it wasn't bad, but like it wasn't the best I've ever seen. It was more just the flow of the solve and the fluidity and how few pauses that were in it, which was what made it so fast. And there was a little bit of luck, like no parity and 1 or 2 edges solved and so forth, which you will see now. So I will link both the scramble and the reconstruction in the description below, and you can follow along if you want. Just if you don't know, I am a green cross only solver. So if that makes it more difficult for you to follow along, I do apologize. But anyway, yeah, I will try and go at a slow enough pace that even if you don't solve on green, you'll still be able to follow along fairly easily anyway. So we'll just get straight into it then. So you can see the obvious thing is I'm going to go for the green center here. So there's this green bar right here, and the other 2 center pieces are, one is here, the other is here. So you'd think the natural thing to do would be to pair it up like so, but if you investigate a little bit further, you can see that there's this cross edge here that I would like to preserve. So I felt the best way to preserve this would be to match it up with this green bar here. And what I noticed, what I planned on doing, I planned on starting from this and doing a D, and that would align it up to pair it up. But what I also realized was that it would bring this centerpiece over to here. So I decided to bring the last centerpiece over to here so I could just finish with an or 2 to pair them up. So you'll see now I started with a D and a U prime. Then I paired this cross edge up with the green bar. And then I done my or 2, which paired this bar up. And then I done D prime or. And that solved my first center with my first cross edge. And luckily enough, this was not planned, but there was a blue bar already solved. So I just went straight into it. I rotated and aligned it and then inserted it into the top layer. Now looking for my last 2 blue centers, I realized that there was one here and the other one was in the back here. So I rotated like this and then paired it up like so, and then rotated again. And then you can see I have to move this cross edge out of the way before I can finish this last bar. So I done a D prime and then inserted it like so. Now my next cross edge, because I already have one done, was going to be the green and white. I felt the green and white was the most obvious one. You have a one piece here and here's the other here, so all you need to do to match it up is pretty simple, is or prime wide U prime. Then I rotate it, and then to put it into, this isn't the correct position, so to put it in the correct position in the cross, I done L2 and then U. And then I rotated and looked for my next cross edge, which I decided was going to be the green and yellow. So I put this into the M slice here, and I couldn't really see the last one, so I rotated again, and here it was right here. So I put this into the M slice as well. And to pair these up, I sliced, and then I done this, which was an or3, and then a U prime. When I was doing that, I realized that there was this orange bar here, so I decided I would go straight into the orange center. And I also realized the last 2 center pieces for orange were right here. So I done the or3, the U prime, and then what I done was this, and then I put this sort of like on this layer right here, which made it easier to solve. So to match up these last 2 orange centers right here, what I done was slice and then U prime, wide or, U prime, wide or. And what that done was it solved the orange center, but it also put it in the back as well. So I didn't have to worry about rotating after I'd solved it. It was this is done, don't need to worry about it anymore. The next one was going to be the white center, which is right here, and this is one of the easier cases, or one of the easier parts of the solve, because there's already 3 centers right here, and they're also in the correct position, and the last one is right here. So to solve this, I put these 3 in the back, like so, and then I paired this center up with this one here, and used a slice move, like so, and then that solved the white center. And again, like solving the orange center, I'll also put it into the back. And then I think I went for the red center here to finish with my last 2 centers, which is going to be on the top here. So I paired these 2 centers up right here. And then what I've done is, I think I done a wide OR, an OR tree, and then a U2 wide OR. Then I rotated. But what I've done from here, I think I've done a wide and a wide prime, because I was sort of hesitating towards this part of the solve. You'll see in the solve at the end that the last cross edge was sort of the most poorly executed part of the entire solve, but I did do a Y prime, and then obviously my last cross edge here is the green and orange. Here are the 2 pieces. So I moved this across, I brought this edge into the E slice, and then moved it back across to pair the last edge up. Now what I've done is I realigned my centers, and I rotated like so, and I was already looking for what my first edge would be, and I decided it was going to be the blue and red. And you can see, luckily enough, I actually already have a blue and orange edge here. But I decided my first edge was going to be the blue and red, and I realized the second one was right here. So instead, when I was finishing my last cross edge, I didn't just do OR prime, I decided to do U and then an OR prime, and that kept this blue and red edge in the top. And what I've done is I rotated, I brought this across like so, and then this blue and red piece now needs to go here. So I rotated, and then I already realized that my next edge would be the orange and yellow. So I was already looking for that. So I needed to get this blue and red right here, right there, and also simultaneously looking for the orange and yellow piece, which I realized was right here. So I inserted this blue and red piece in from the back, and that put it into the right position. But before I was in this position, so I done this is the last orange. Sorry, I'm not really explaining this too well, but basically this is the orange and yellow piece that I need to get aligned with this one. So I done an OR2, a U prime, and an OR prime, and then that put this orange and yellow in the correct position. Now my next edge was going to be the blue and white. So I rotated again, and if you didn't see, the blue and white was right here. Now instead of doing the smart thing, which was this, for some reason I done a U prime, and put it into the correct position like this, and then I realigned my centers, and that solved these 3 edges right here. And in the process, it also solved the yellow and red edge, which I also didn't plan. So that just left a 3 cycle, which was possibly the luckiest part to solve, really. And I decided to solve this 3 cycle, I was going to do the yellow and blue edge. So I rotated, I put this yellow and blue edge into the back, and then sliced across to pair it up, and then inserted my last edge in from the back like this, and then realigned my centers, which solved all of my edges. Now the first F2L pair I went for was the green, red, and yellow, which is fairly simple. The edge is right here, so it was just paired up, rotated, and inserted. My next edge was very similar, sort of a mirror of it, was the green, orange, and yellow, and here's the edge right here, so I paired it up and inserted it. And then I went for the green, white, and orange, which is a fairly simple one, just from the back. I done it like this, and you can see by doing that it also left me this free green, white, and red F2L pair, which was also another really lucky part to solve, to be fair. And I inserted it like this, and then I done U prime, OLL with no OLL parity, and then another U prime into an OR perm with a U2 AUF. Also no parity, which was also probably the luckiest. Well, there was a couple lucky parts of the solve, I won't deny that. but it was also a good flow and very few pauses, which is what made it so fast. And I guess you can't really expect an overall PB without a bit of luck as well. So that's pretty much about it. Like I said, the reconstruction will be in the description if you want to look at it at alcubing.net. And also, if you're wondering, I have also reconstructed my 38.9 5x5 European record single. It took me about 2 hours to reconstruct. I'm really not good at it, but I did manage to reconstruct it. I will be filming a sort of walkthrough, sort of like a reconstruction video that I did for this. I'll edit it and hopefully have it uploaded on my channel within the week, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you maybe learned something from it or whatever. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.